Hey guys, so in this tutorial I'll be talking about how to represent a neural network. So a neural network is nothing but it's just inspired from our human body or an animal's body on how it processes an information to produce an output. So we have an example here of the actual neuron which is present in our bodies. So these are called as dendrites. So what these dendrites do is they access information from every part of the body through these branches, and they process the information through something called as axon, and then they produce an output via the axon terminal, which results in a reaction of the body, that is an output. So an artificial neural network works the same way. So you have input nodes here. So what these input nodes do is they access and they process information, and they produce an output based on the process. So this is what a neural network is. These neural networks have like several advantages. For example, let us say you have a shop, and then you have to predict what is the sales which is going to be happening in the next 4 days. So you can provide something called as data sets, which has several parameters, the history of your sales, and then based on those data sets, based on those parameters, the neural network is going to give you an output on how much the sales prediction, on how much the sales is going to be. A neural network can also predict several image or voice detection. For example, let us say you have to predict a letter called as A. So let's say this is A, and this is also A, and this is also A. So three people might write A as three different three different styles, right? So what a neural network does is these are considered as nodes for the neural network as discussed here. So what these do is these alphabets are processed, and it provides the detection of the alphabet A based on these parameters. So that is how an image is recognized, that is how a voice is recognized. So you might have seen in several social networks like Facebook on how you can detect a person's face based on the parameters given. So that is how face detection also works, that is how autopilot also works, and this is how a neural network works. A neural network may not be as simple as the previous one was. So in this neural network, it has several layers. For example, this is the one second. Yeah, so this is the first layer, this is the second, this is the third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth, and this is the output layer, that is the seventh layer. So it has 7 layers in this. So there is a lot of processing of information going on to produce these 3 outputs. So the layers which are marked in blue color, that is the layers from 2 to 6. So these are called as the hidden layers. So these hidden layers are the process for your information. So you produce an input with 4 nodes, and these hidden layers process to produce an output with 3 nodes. So you can also add something called as a bias node. So a bias node is nothing but it's just an extra it's just an extra node which is considered in the activation function. So an activation function is nothing but the calculation which goes on over in these hidden layers. So it helps in acting as a constant in that activation function. It is completely dependent on the user and the application to use a bias layer. It is not compulsory to use a bias layer every time.